On March, whatever day it was, when everything shut down, I remember one of the first things I did was ran out to the pharmacy, not to buy toilet paper, but to buy a thermometer. And I must have not been the only person who had that idea because the shelves were empty. Fortunately, Father Dwayne had one of those old school thermometers so we could check our temperatures. And we would have nightly readings at the beginning of the pandemic just to check who in the house was most likely to have coronavirus. And at one point I was seriously debating doing temperature checks before people came in for masses. Now, even 2,000 years after our gospel was written, a fever is like a warning light for our body that something is up. Something is not the way it should be. And it could signify anything from the common cold to a deadly illness. Same thing in Jesus' time. The fever, when someone had a fever, it was a serious thing. It could mean anything, but something is wrong with the body. So we see in our gospel today, Jesus and the early disciples going as the church to visit Simon's mother-in-law who is sick. It's a great reminder that as the church began, pretty much from the very beginning of the church, they go to pray for the sick. And they go together to pray for her healing. And after she is healed, we hear that she immediately gets up and serves, and then others come. The word spreads. The people come to be healed of various diseases we hear, and those who are possessed by many demons are healed. Both a physical and a spiritual healing happen. Same too in what we are living through in this pandemic. I imagine those of you who have been through the coronavirus, are living in it right now, or know people who have been through it. Oftentimes, both the physical and the spiritual dimension are connected. Maybe this experience of challenge, of isolation, of suffering can reawaken an experience of faith for folks. It can be very much connected, that the physical healing can bring about also a spiritual healing. But I imagine many of us also know people who have, thanks be to God, who are at a point where they didn't think that they could be healed. And thanks to prayers and support, they have come back. Others have not. And there's a reminder to us that we are always in need of healing, both physical and spiritual healing. And if a thermometer is what we need for physical healing, sort of our warning light for our physical life, it got me thinking, what's the warning light, what's the thermometer for our spiritual life? And I think it's our attitude, the way in which we approach our day. And maybe we can do today a sort of spiritual temperature check and think, what's my attitude today? And what that sort of spiritual reading or thermometer check might indicate where in my life do I need healing today.